Okay, so this is the February current issue of Big Think, the theme Biology's New Era, the lead piece by Ethan Siegel on why metabolism solves the origin of life problem, the 100-year-old origin of life problem. He makes a lot of outrageous statements, like such as this one: large complex molecules easily emerge, including full-fledged nucleotides, complex proteins, and enzymes. And then skipping down, if you replace the neutral atom at the end of one of those proteins with an ion, then that protein becomes an enzyme. So fact-free claims, fact-free statements about science that don't hold water. But look at this. Just the week before, Siegel wrote about Carl Sagan and his Baloney detectors. So Carl Sagan wrote about nine different rules for detecting baloney. And let's have a look at these. First, demand independent confirmation of whatever statements are asserted as facts. Yeah, that would be nice. Next, don't accept an argument from an authority because that person is an authority. Instead, judge arguments based on the merits of the underlying facts. Yes, very good. Next, whatever your favorite, most preferred hypothesis is, be its harshest critic. Well, we're not even asking for evolutionists such as Ethan Siegel to be its harshest critic. Just be a critic. Just look at things from a scientific perspective. That's all I would ask. Don't settle for a qualitative analysis of the issue. Be quantitative. You mean like, and then complex proteins emerge. Next, ask whether the hypothesis, at least in principle, can be falsified. Right, so evolution has a long history of false predictions. All of its major fundamental predictions have turned out to be false. They do not have a plausible cause for the origin of species. And yet, is it false? Well, we're nowhere close to falsifiability. It's not even questioned. In fact, it's insisted to be a fact. So you can have all your predictions turn out to be false. You can have no plausible cause, but it's true. We all know it's true. We're nowhere close to the falsifiability criteria. Okay, so with Sagan's Baloney detector rules in view, let's go back to Siegel's piece here on metabolism and the origin of life. If you create a nutrient and organic-rich environment in the lab, you can do things like make an early Earth analog. You can apply energy to it, enable phase changes, and allow long-term chemical synthesis to occur. So note the passive voice here. You can enable phase changes. You allow long-term chemical synthesis to occur. These things just happen on their own. We're living in a universe where things just come together and complex things just form. You just have to sit back and allow. You turn on the light and things just start happening. Large, complex molecules easily emerge, including full-fledged nucleotides, complex proteins, and enzymes. It's a world full of rich, complex organic molecules, very complex ones, large proteins and enzymes. It just happens. Skipping down. Lots of complex long-chain molecules are going to form in an environment such as this. Amino acids will assemble, link up, and form proteins. It just happens. Now, admittedly, most of those proteins will be completely inactive. They won't perform any biologically useful functions. But, however, if you replace the neutral atom at the end of one of those proteins with an ion, particularly with a heavy element ion such as magnesium, then that protein becomes an enzyme. It is really difficult to read this with a straight face. The Baloney detector is going wild here. Sagan is rolling over in his grave. Unfortunately, this is what we have with contemporary evolutionary thought. Religion drives science, and it matters.